Welcome back to what's very likely going to be the last weekend of maple syrup. We're supposed to get a week of probably 50s to 60s, so the buds will probably pop and we'll be done. In the last video, we were finishing syrup and cooking in the pan. We got the pan drained and whatever was collected right before it froze. And there we got, I don't know what, 10, probably 12 gallons. The last video we were cooking. Let's see here. Last night it started running, well, I guess not last night. I'd say probably about 2:30, 3 o'clock it started running. We had 2 days of really good freeze, but it started running then. So didn't really have a lot to cook last night. Right now I'm kind of staring down the barrel of a because we got to get that RO'd, and it's came up from there to there in about 3.5 hours, closer to 4 hours. So we should be fine on ROing that. But well, I guess before we get too carried away, let's check this pump pressure. Dump the water off of it before I dump it all in. Probably super wet in there anyways. Let's see. It's not terrible wet. Sitting at about 25-ish. You can see the sap coming in there pretty good. Currently 45.2. Let's run down the road and make sure that one's running. It blew another fuse last night. Thankfully I caught it before it needed to be running for too long, but it was also acting like it didn't want to run and build pressure, so I don't know if it ended up taking off or not. Kind of hoping it did. That'd be a lot of sap wasted if it didn't, or I guess potential sap wasted. Well, it doesn't look like it worked. Ah, man. No, it didn't work at all. What in the world? Alright, let me figure this out. Well, now I'm really kicking myself for not checking it out better last night. This filter is completely plugged. Took it out and it's building pressure now. So I guess I'll go get this filter cleaned. Lessons learned, I guess, huh? Got the filter clean. Pump's already up to, what, almost 16? Unfortunately, we have to shut it off and lose all that vacuum, but with a clean filter, it should build right back up. Filter in. Starting to build vacuum again. Hopefully we can get good vacuum up the lines and we won't get caught back up to what we should be, but hopefully we'll get a good run on it. I got time to kill anyways. I can't put it in a tank to RO it until I get this one RO'd down, and that'll be a little bit. Apparently I don't run the RO enough. I think I was putting sugar in the yard, so Dad told me to shut it off and he'll figure it out when he gets here. So I figure with that tank down the road building vacuum on it, we might as well go see if we can find that leak that I've been hunting for the last 3 weeks, I think. But I was just walking by this tree. You can see the buds haven't really done anything yet. You can kind of see the red hue of the trees on the valley. So things really haven't started to change too much yet. Yeah, even this peach tree, or not peach, what is this, pear, the buds are still super tiny on. So we'll see what the week really brings. We'll probably still be done because after having a week of 60s, I'm thinking things are going to be pushing pretty hard. And who knows what the rest of the month will bring. Probably just more warm weather. All right, let's go find that leak. Might as well do a quick gauge check on the way up. Got about 12 on that one. Both gauges are sitting at 10, which I find quite surprising considering how empty that top line is, which is my bottom run, which is the one that has the leak on it that I've been hunting. So we'll come over here to this first run and see how bad it is today, and maybe it'll be running enough we can actually get the leak found today. Alright. Yep, here we go again. You can see the big bubbles coming in, all those little ones coming out. Let's start hunting. Alright, so I came up here to the last tap. And you can see it's sitting there in the line. Maybe if I can get my fingers adjusted. Let's see here, right there where my finger's at, where the sap's sitting. And over here, man, I wish it'd stop focusing on the leaves. You'll take my word for it. It's not rushing up over my hand. And that tells me the leak isn't in here. So we'll move down here and try again and see what happens. Alright, same thing again. You can see it building up over here. Nothing's racing up over my hand. Oh, now you focus. Oh, there we go. But nothing's rushing up over. Move down to here. Alright, I just did this one. I couldn't get... It would build up a little bit, but I couldn't see it racing up over my hand. But it wouldn't build up like the other two. This piece is full. And this one is emptying faster than these. Normally this one would empty slower. I mean, it does just have one tap on it. But I'm gonna crush this one down and see if we get a better result. I've been up this one probably 3 or 4 times and haven't found anything suspicious. Like, it doesn't even have bite marks on it. But, I mean, I guess that doesn't mean I hit some mystery bad spot in the tree or something. If anything, you would think it would be these two. I mean, this one got that big gash in it. Woodpecker hole. There's another big woodpecker hole on the other side of it. This one's got this giant gash in it. But last video, we cut this one off and didn't see much of a difference, or any difference. But if it was that one, theory, this line under here wouldn't be full. So we're gonna shut this one off and see what we get. All right, you can see back here, like in the middle of the screen, kind of the end of the air line, and it's not racing up over, and that's more sap than I had in there before. So let's run down to the main line and see if it's still sucking air or not. Should be long enough to get the air pulled out of the line, I think. I think that was the problem I was having in the last video. I wasn't waiting long enough, maybe. No, I think it's still doing it. Oh, yeah. Man, biggest problem is all these bubbles are so big that the lines aren't full yet. Oh, here comes one. All right, I've been standing here a little bit. I'm not convinced that that was it. I don't know. Maybe we'll start at the bottom and work our way up, pinching it. See if we can find, or at least see a difference in the main line. That way we know what we're looking for when we get to the hole. I'm also kind of shocked that these lines aren't running better than they were. With it sitting all night, I was kind of expecting everything to be filled up and ready to just take off, but these lines don't look like there's a whole bunch sitting in them. So if I wasn't on vacuum, I probably wouldn't be getting much sap at all. Got it pinched off there, and we have exactly what's coming in, coming out. Now we move it and try again. So we're on move number 4, I think. But I got up here. I've already checked down there. We've got the air cut off. That's we got this one and this mess right here. But I noticed the sap is running back up both of these. So I think I'm gonna cut it here and see if this continues. I don't know, this is weird. This just means that it's sucking back into the trees. So the air leak has to be either here or in here. So I pretty much decided it must be this Y. Alright, so it doesn't want to do it right now. But right like where my thumbnail's at, you could see a string of air going in and then getting sucked down the Y. You can see right here there's kind of like a channel that it might be going up. So I'm going to cut this off and replace it and see if that fixes it. Well, I'm going to say that helps slightly. There might be a little tiny bit less air coming in, but it still didn't fix the problem. I think I finally found it. I think this one right here where that little black spot's at, the one that's leaking. You can barely hear it if you put your ear right on it. It's right here. I just happened to find it by doing the hand test. You can see it pulsing right there, and the hole is right. Oh, come on. I wish this thing would focus better. The hole is right where those air bubbles start at. But if you put a finger over them and do it, you get the buildup in the back. And then I must not have it completely blocked off. But you can see it's not sucking super hard over here. If I get it just right, it pulls it up over. We'll get that spliced and hopefully that fixes it. Got that in there. And you can see the bubbles are moving much faster and in the right direction this time. Let's go down to the main line and see if I got all of the air leaks. I really hope so. I would say we definitely got it. The air has finally stopped. I mean, that's just what's coming through the other side. Every once in a while it pushes back up in, but that's because the line over there is full of air, so it's just trying to figure out where to go. That should stop, and has significantly stopped since more of the sap has been building up in the line and not just air. Almost to the top of my top run, and well, that could be a problem. Get a little bit of a dip going in my line, plus we need to get it off so the fence will be hot. I haven't seen anything I don't like on these laterals coming up. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 more to check. I'm kind of curious what this one right here is doing, because I just ran it across. You can see a few dips here, a couple more up there. I might have to run a string or a wire this coming year to get that straight. But for just hanging on trees and being zip tied to some sticks I stuck in the ground, I don't think it's doing terrible. But we'll get this branch off and get the rest of these lines walked. Very top, that one's at 26. I liked everything that I seen on the way up. Got that branch off, got the fence, or the high tensile that was holding the sap line. Got that tightened back up so it wasn't sagging and touching the electric fence. But other than that, everything looked good. Gonna walk up across these tops, make sure I don't see any other branches laying on my lines. See if I find any sags I don't like that line right there. It had a big sag in it. I'm guessing a deer hit it and it dropped down a little bit. Stuff like that's not a huge deal, but when it's the last run of the season and I've got about half as many gallons as I did last year, I'm gonna do everything I can to get everything close to perfect as I can so I can get as much as I can. One of the last things I did to start the season was I had all of this right here. It was like 30 some taps. It all ran down on that line right there. So I decided that was probably too much for one run going down to the main line. So I cut across here. I was gonna add these in anyways, but I split that in half, came over here and grabbed these ones. I just put a T in here. I wasn't sure how well it was gonna work, but you can see everything's coming together beautifully. There's a bit of air in there, but both sides have air coming in, so. And by the time it got down there, I didn't see anything I didn't like, so that means everything's consolidating. The one thing I don't like about this section, that's the one I was talking about adding a string or a wire to, with the sags in it. You can kind of see how it sags there and sags the next one down. But I really don't think they're that big of a deal. Once the vacuum gets going, nothing's going to be sitting. And it doesn't really look like low spots, like right here, are much lower than what it is on the sticks. So we're definitely not going to worry about it this year. Let's go check the next vacuum gauge and see if we find anything else. Well, that's a bummer. We're sitting at about 16 inches, which means we probably still have a leak somewhere. But oh where could it be? I don't know. I guess we'll see what we find on the way down. Might just have to call it good for this year. Try to improve on it next year. See what we find. Back down here at the bottom, that definitely fixed it. Can't believe it took me 3 weeks to find that pinhole, but hey, at least I finally got it. Let's go over here, check these gauges, then we'll go down to the pump and check that gauge. Oh, let's see here. Top one sitting at, oh, I don't know, 15. And the bottom run sitting at 12-ish. You can still see that bottom run that's on the top 5/16. Still has more air in it than that top, but I don't know. It is what it is. Go down here and check the pump. Being as that these first set of gauges are sitting at 12 and 16, I'm gonna guess the pump is probably at, I don't know, 16, maybe 20, but we'll see. Pump's sitting at 16, so about what we expected. I would love to know why the SureFlows let it back up and then dump it all at once. You can hear it going all crazy now. Let's see if the line's changed. Oh yeah, now it's up to like almost 18. And you can hear it, it's like not running again. Yep. And there it goes again. Oh. Just weird. You'd think it'd run all the time. But at least it's holding vacuum, and it is doing way more than just the gravity system would be. I've been gone way longer than I thought I would be. But Dad's got the pan already hot, the RO running. But I thought while we were at it, we might as well check. And this one's at about. We'll run these lines quick and see what we can find. High run sitting at just over 20, and low run sitting at about 22. Let's go up and check the top gauges. Well, now that's just beautiful. 28. That's awesome. I wish I could get all my runs like that. And that's the short one. Unless there's a hole in it, this top one will be at least 28, because it has a longer run on it. I guess we'll see. Just under 28. That's beautiful. Alright, let's get down there and help Dad get cooking. Maybe next year I'll put a door on it that doesn't leak. That way if you're not stacking the wood perfectly and it like gets a little crooked, and then it won't hopefully blow smoke out the door. It's not super hot yet either though, so that'll help clean things up. But I think I'm definitely putting a tighter door on it next year. Some good news, at 50 degrees, this should test at 67.4, which would be the very bottom of that red line, which appears to be there. We're gonna test this one to see where it's at. I still think I might warm them up. You know, just because I'm skeptical. We'll see. And now it's sitting above it. That's why I'm kind of skeptical about it. Put it in the other one and see what it has to say. That one says it's overdone too. So this one has a little bit more room in it, so I think I'll move a little bit from that pot over there, and then once we get them warm, we'll add some hot sap to each one of them until we get the consistency right. Got one hot. Just as it said cold, it says hot. So we'll get a little scoop from the hot sap and put in here and see if we can get it figured out. Close. Added just a little bit too much. That one's done. Let's turn this one on to get it warmed up. Came back over here to scoop some of the stuff off. And this one blew up. First one of the year. I guess that's not terrible. Perks of trying to run 2 deep fryers at the same time. But I guess we'll try this one again and get it done. Got it hot. Sticking up just a little bit farther than I would like. I'm gonna add hopefully a tiny little bit of sap to it, and hopefully that finishes it up and we don't have to sit here for a while cooking it. Hopefully that does it. Not quite, need to add a little bit more. We'll try that. Perfect. That's about another 7 gallons done. Got 5 more to go. Great news. Got that one done. Added a little bit too much sap to it. Ended up cooking it a little bit longer. But by the time that one was done, this one was hot and I checked it and it's done. So now I guess I just sit here for the rest of the night. We're back. We got the tractor from down the road. It's pumped out already. Dad has been busy this morning. He's got the RO running. We probably had close to 4 bars total, and then he's had the RO running, so got it down some. We're doing really good on pressures today. This one's sitting at 20 and a half maybe. I haven't been up the lines yet to see what they're pulling, but over in the trailer I got RO water in both of these cooking down. Try to get the sugar cooked out of them, get them cleaned up, draining the pan so we can come in and get this cleaned up before we start again. Still got a little bit left in there. Got this little one boiling nice. It's getting dark like syrup. We'll let that cook for a little bit. That'll get the anything that's cooked to the bottom of the pan, that'll come off with that. The RO water has like no minerals or anything in it, so all the minerals are able to be sucked into the water. So you just let it cook for a little bit. Should clean the pan up. It won't be perfectly clean, but it'll be a lot better than it was. Got this little pan done. You can still see a little bit on the bottom of it, but that's way better than it was. It'd probably be a little bit better if I left it on for just a hair longer, or maybe had a little bit more water in it. I was getting slightly irritated about how slow this was running out. And I came back here and got looking, and it's just super thick mineral deposit. All of it. I'm guessing this is too. Oh yeah. Definitely time to give it a bath. Get it cleaned up. Get the fresh batch in there. This pan's done with round 1. I'm gonna cook it again though. Try to get more of that off. Got everything that I've boiled so far in here, working its way through. Splashed it around on here, got a lot of it off. Still need to come in and scrub it. Slow but steady progress. Alright, we boiled this one again. A lot of it came off, but I got impatient because I wanted to clean my pan with the hot water. So there's still a little bit of calcium or whatever that is built up on it. Not a big deal. This one is definitely going to need an acid wash at the end of the year. But the really good news is you got this pan mostly done. I'm just waiting for the... Ooh. Ah! Huh. Mostly just waiting for the water to drain out of it. So then we can, I don't know, we'll probably fill the pans with these two. Then, I don't know, the RO is taking forever, so we'll probably get the stove loaded up, and then we'll go check the sap lines for something to do to kill the time. 1 pan, 2 pan ready to go. Firebox is full. Now we just wait for the RO to get done. Definitely still have a while if we just let the RO do all the work. We'll walk the lines. We might end up pumping some out and getting it hot, letting the RO finish up whatever's left. This pump's sitting at 22. Well, that's odd. Both are sitting at 18. These lines are running good, but I don't think it's really running that much because this one, you can see, isn't moving at all. Oh, a little tiny bit. So we'd have more vacuum if the sap was more freely flowing down those lines. We'll run up to these top gauges. They're probably 25 inches each, I'm gonna guess. Go take a look. Hey, that's better than expected. We got 28. That's the short run. So if that's at 28, this top one should definitely be at 28. As expected, 28. Let's go over to the other woods, see what we got. Down here with the solar pump box, we're pulling 18 inches. Wow. On vacuum. Super cloudy day, and we're still getting, here's the butt, 1.6 amps in, putting 1.3 out. Kind of happy and kind of sad that, well, kind of happy we didn't have snow. Kind of sad we didn't get to test it during a snowstorm. I mean, obviously if the panel gets covered, it's not going to work, but I don't know, maybe it'd be different than a cloudy day. Don't know unless you find out, right? Not gonna happen this year. All right, next set of gauges. I already like what I'm seeing with these bubbles. It's about time both lines are full and moving at the same pace. Might mean I finally found all my holes just in time for the last few days of run, huh? That's how it works sometimes, I guess. Let's see. We got 18 and probably 16 on the low run. So the low run's not doing as well, but way better than it has been, considering I haven't been able to do much above, what, I don't think I've been above 10. Walk up here, see if I see anything suspicious. I didn't bring anything with me, so I probably will. But being that everything's moving slow, well, it's not this line I've been working on. It's full. Probably means I have too many taps. Oh no, it's moving. All right. Thought maybe I might have too many taps on it and it's getting back pressure on it, but it's moving. Just happened to look over here at this one because I seen water drops on it. I was like, oh, that's weird. It hasn't rained in a minute. But then that caught my eye. You can see all the wood chips in it. It's almost plugged, but you can still see space around it to get the sap through. So it's not. My last video, I was asking if somebody thought that this was a leak because it wasn't draining this section. But now that I have good vacuum on it, I'm drained clear back to there, but I have a dip in it there, so I need to get that straightened out for next year. It's working pretty good. I mean, it's still sucking out of it. It's just got more sitting in it than it should. We're almost up here to the top of the short run. All right, 22. Boy, ooh, ain't that nice to see. About time we get some good vacuum on this side. One more to check. This one's looking like a 28. A little bit higher, but considering that low run's been bad all season, I'll take whatever I can get over there. All right, let's go get a couple inches in that pan, get that fire started, get the stove warmed up so when the RO's done, we can get cooking. Got just a little bit more sap left in the tank. We're getting warmed up again. We got the stove going, and the first 2 inches were boiling, but just started boiling. Then we pretty much filled the tank back up. So that's where we're at now. Getting steamy again. Front's boiling a little bit, you can see like right there. A little bit of jumping around in there. Back here, I guess maybe they're all boiling. But you can see it's already white from being RO'd. All that sugar in it. So now we are going to get these started up. And with any luck, we'll be done pretty early tonight. We got one pan done. This one's still working on it, but I've been using the hots out of this one, putting it in here. So this one probably is close, but not really. We still have a little bit out of the 5-gallon bucket we need to put in there, probably a quart. And then we have this loaded up for the 3rd time. I guess it'd be what, 2.5 times. Let's see here. Boom. So that's getting warm. I don't know. I'll probably stick around a little bit after I finish up this pan that I'm working on, just to make sure that the big pan gets cooked down enough for tomorrow. We should have got it all in to fit tonight, but we RO and collect in the same IBC tote, and Dad had it down to about a half a bar, and when he went to pump out, it was back up above the bar. So it's been running like crazy tonight, so we didn't get it all in, but it is what it is. We'll start again tomorrow. Finally got that one done. Took it a little over what it was supposed to be. Thankfully I had enough in the bucket. I dumped in there, brought it back up to a boil, and it was perfect. So that's done. Now we just wait for that to get down. Well, it's cooking off really slow. The barometric pressure must be not what it needs to be. It's just not coming off. The pan's boiling great right now. I got the firebox full, and the fire's burning hot enough that it's shooting fire out the chimney pipe that's 8 feet tall. So we'll just let it go, and whatever comes off, and we'll start again tomorrow afternoon. We're back for another night of what will probably be a long night of cooking. We got the stove hot-ish. Well, the stove's hot. It's shooting fire out the top, and the chimney's hot. We got what was in there from last night warmed up and down to the windows, so about 2 inches. And then we got about 3 bars in the tanks, got that RO'd down to 1. And we got that sent out here. We have about 1/4 of a bar left to get in here tonight. So I'm hoping that it comes off a lot faster than it did last night, because even after I left, it only dropped probably 3 inches maybe, which is not impressive at all. It should have been probably down to the windows, which probably would have been another 2 inches. And it just, I don't know, just wasn't coming off last night. It is what it is. Hopefully it comes off tonight and we won't have to worry about it. We can get some finished up. Keep this process going. Well, it's been a few days since the last clip, and well, as you can see, we've had way too many warm days. Looks like somebody dumped milk in the sap. Buds have popped. It's time to call it quits. Sad thing is now that the season's over, I have both pumps sitting at 12 and they're not even hardly getting any sap, so. Well, at least we know we found the holes. It is what it is. Start again next year, right? Alright, we gotta check the syrup we were making. Dad finished that up. What would that have been? 2 days ago. We gotta go check it and make sure it's not over or underdone. See where that's at. And we'll probably call this video a wrap after that. Oh, she's thick. This one's about 4 bricks over done, so maybe we'll just try using this batch to make sugar. I also want to try mixing it with some nuts, so maybe we'll just use this batch for that. Alrighty guys, I want to thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, please like, subscribe, leave an emoji comment, because why not? We are currently working on cleanup, and that video will be out next week. So if you want to see that one, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day.